Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 15th of July, and welcome to Thought for the Day. Today I will be reading Psalm 143, a psalm of David. Lord, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for mercy. In your faithfulness and righteousness, come to my relief. Do not bring your servant into judgment, for no one living is righteous before you. The enemy pursues me. He crushes me to the ground. He makes me dwell in darkness, like those long dead. So my spirit grows faint within me. My heart within me is dismayed. I remember the days of long ago. I meditate on all your works and consider what your hands have done. I spread out my hands to you. I thirst for you like a parched land. Answer me quickly, Lord. My spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will be like those who go down to the pit. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I entrust my life. Rescue me from my enemies, Lord, for I hide myself in you. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on level ground. For your name's sake, Lord, preserve my life. In your righteousness, bring me out of trouble. In your unfailing love, silence my enemies, destroying all my foes, for I am your servant. This psalm is a prayer in the midst of hopelessness and depression. Here we see how David was losing hope, caught in paralyzing fear and a deep depression. I've never suffered medically diagnosed depression, but I have felt at times caught in a downward spiral of emotions, feeling that I'm helpless and that much seems hopeless and that I cannot pull myself out. In those sorts of times, we can come to the Lord and, like David, express our true feelings. Being honest with how you're feeling, both to yourself and to God, can be the beginning of understanding what you need. At difficult times, it can be hard to set time aside to be with God and in His presence. But when we do, He will help us as we remember His works. Verse 5, I remember the days of long ago. I meditate on all your works and consider what your hands have done. I find it helpful to look back at past prayer requests and be reminded of how God was there amidst difficulties and how things worked out in the following weeks and months, often in surprising and unexpected ways. And keeping a journal or prayer diary is a good aid to this. And when we spend time with God and reach out to Him in prayer, Verse 6 reminds us, I spread out my hands to you. I thirst for you like a parched land. When I spend time with God, am I expecting Him to talk to or answer me? That image of dry, parched land can feel like a good reflection of my soul at times. And being restored with Jesus' life-giving water is a great comfort to me. I need to trust in Him. Verse 8, let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I entrust my life. Again, am I willing to trust God? He has sustained me in the past, and I can trust Him to do so again. Am I open to hearing His guidance and suggestion as to how to face a difficulty or situation? And then I need to decide to do His will. Verse 10, teach me to do your will, for you are my God. May your good spirit lead me on level ground. Being obedient to what I've read or heard God say to me is crucial. but can be hard at times. But it's an important part of being willing to allow God to help us. David's prayer was to be taught to do God's will, not his own. A prayer for guidance is self-centered if it doesn't recognize God's power to redirect our lives. Asking God to restructure our priorities awakens our minds and stirs our wills. When the Bible talks about God's guidance or God's leading, it's characteristically referring to our recognizing the morally right path, not whether we should apply for a certain job or date a particular person. Our prayers should fit into what we know is consistent with God's character and plans. God is faithful, and it is just as well that the relationship between God and us does not depend on our faithfulness as much as it depends on God's. It's possible for me to take God's faithfulness for granted and not feel compelled to be faithful. As Tom Wright says, in contemporary Western Christianity, our more prevalent danger is the assumption that our faithfulness determines whether God is faithful, that God relates to us in response to our relating to Him. And he goes on to say, the supreme expression of God's faithfulness is His sending Jesus to redeem us. The only contribution we make to our salvation is our sin and our willingness to trust in Jesus. So it's good to remember God is faithful and always wanting us to be in communication with Him. He wants us to be encouraged when we remember where He helped us in the past, to reach out to Him in prayer and to trust Him in leading and guiding us and deciding to do His will. This seems like a very good way to start each day, especially if you're feeling down and disheartened. So I'm praying you will have a good day today and experience God's blessing and strengthening for whatever you're involved in. Have a good day.